Back on the Rob Dibble Show. Ben Darnell in your afternoon drive. So, some news out of Boston that Brad Marchand, the captain, he skated with the team today, and he is on the flight going to Florida, and they desperately need him to play in Game 5 because they're down 3-1 and it's elimination time. But it'll probably be a game-time decision. But they continue to say upper body injury, but he took a shot to the head. I mean, why is Sam Bennett still skating around? He should have been suspended.
The other thing I was thinking, too, during the game is, like, there's these thoughts that creep into my head of just, like, what's wrong with him? What has he got going on? Is he like one of these NBA guys? Get out there. It's the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I immediately think, this is the NHL, man.
They're tough as a coffin.
If they can go, they're gonna go. They probably had to tell Marchand he couldn't go. Now, when I hear upper body in the NHL, and like you said, you see where it is, I'm thinking this might be a little concussion action, maybe, and that's kind of scary for me. Just knowing what we know, but this, you're right, like. Huge part of this series if Marchand's not in.
Well, because he's a pest, and like Sam Bennett, like Tkachuk, yes, and the team captain, and even when it was tied up, he would have gone right back to business. The one thing I could say about Brad is he's business as usual. His business is we're here to win hockey games. We need to win the Stanley Cup. You know, that's what they're striving for every year. And now a lot of these Bergeron and all these other guys have moved on. He's the next guy up, and he's got to motivate these younger stars. Get the most out of these guys, and he's a facilitator. He's Aho to the Hurricanes. These older players now, where it's their responsibility to basically lead the way. If he's not playing, some guys try to do too much. I thought Pasternak tried to do too much in last night's game, and even the head coach leaving him out there for like 3 minutes. These guys skate minute 20 off the ice, minute 20 off the ice. You can't leave guys out there thinking, well, this right now, 5 minutes into the third period, Pasternak, he should stay out here for an extra minute. And it honestly looked like it cost them.
The other side of the playoffs, I haven't been watching as much as you have. And we had a little situation a big situation in the Vancouver-Edmonton game revolving around the biggest star in the entire league, which is Connor McDavid.
Mm-hmm.
Connor McDavid is behind the net and is kind of going back and forth with someone on the Canucks. I forget his name right now or who it was. But he basically gets a little push from him, and then he returns with a stick to the side, which is returned with another stick to the side, and then a teammate of Vancouver goes behind Connor and basically checks him in the back almost simultaneously as he was getting checked from the front. So as he gets checked from the back, he falls down a little bit to chest level and then gets checked from the front. It looked like in the chin almost, and it does not look good. Looked very brutal in this game, and I should see the status here on Connor McDavid moving forward, but I just thought as tough as this game is, as crazy as these playoffs have been, have heated as these playoff series have been, that was definitely uncalled for against the best player in the game. The league couldn't have liked it either.
No, and again, when you see some of these players get injured, it's awkward things, like a slap shot to the knee on the Bruins guy. One of the Panthers got one in the chin. He never returned. I think it was Reinhold. When you look at hockey, it's one of the most dangerous sports for a reason. Pucks, and it's a rock hard piece of rubber. It's frozen. When they throw it onto the ice, it's sitting in a freezer that they hand to you. It's already they hand it to the official, and it's already frozen, and they throw it on the ice, so you're playing with a frozen puck. When that thing hits you, it's going to cut you. And you will see a lot of guys, I think it was Pasternak got one like right under the eye, but didn't cut him that bad, but still came up his arm, into the face, underneath his eye guard, and boom. He's got blood coming out of his face. The other guy probably had to receive a bunch of stitches. That's how dangerous just even a check is. You could fall on somebody's stick. You could fall on somebody's skate. You could just fall on the ice and get injured. So the punch to Marchand, he went down hard like a ton of bricks. I mean, he may have had a head injury and an upper body injury that we don't know about just by the way he fell awkwardly. So with McDavid, with a bunch of guys taking shots at him, honestly, that's understood though. When you're playing with the best player, guys are going to take shots at him. And here's the thing: they're so good, and like Gretzky and all those greats that have come before him, they're good at avoiding contact because they know it's coming. He knows he's the best. They know he's the best. They know they're going to take some shots.
Well, this situation, and I totally agree with you, but this situation, it's kind of like a stoppage thing. It's kind of like me against you, everybody else skating around, the whistle's blowing, we're all kind of stopped. And he does not know that someone is going to basically sucker check him from behind, expecting a heated battle between the Canucks and the Oilers next game. But that was just a part of the playoffs. That was as tough it is, as fun it is to watch these fights. That was a tough one to see. But they will be back. And
it's being reported he's got a lower body injury now because of that little sandwich deal.
Who can guess what that lower body is?
They must have heard us talking because that was 1 minute ago.
Wow.
Just came out a minute ago.
Big game in New York City tonight. The Rangers are hosting the Canes in game number 5. And as a Canes fan, yes, I am nervous, but I think the Ranger fans should be nervous as well. The Canes have controlled this series when it comes to shots on goal. The Rangers have controlled this series when it comes to blocking them, actual goals, and capitalizing on power plays. We shall see tonight. Shesterkin has been awesome.
He's been
awesome this entire series.
Absolute stone cold wall.
You should expect to see Shesterkin, I am guessing, and also Anderson will probably take over once again for the Hurricanes tonight here in game number 5. But I would just, warn the Ranger fan, like, this series could go the other way. You lose this game, you go back to Carolina. That house has been rocking in both those games, even though they lost the game 3. If you lose tonight, lose tomorrow, and you want to flip a coin for game 7, good luck to you. I think that the Rangers should try to put away the Hurricanes as soon as possible tonight. That should be their goal.
Shesterkin, just in the postseason, Igor has a 7-1 record.
Yeah,
a little over 2 goals per game. He's saved 242 shots on him out of the 261. So he's getting peppered back there.
And also the goals he does let go are, deflected twice. Something's just in between people's legs, blind. A lot of his saves he's making are blind.
He's one of the most limber goalies I've ever seen. I mean, these guys can do splits, but this guy, even when he's doing splits, he's still able to reach out with his stick, with his blocker and his glove. I mean, and it's not like a baseball glove. It's a little bit thicker and a little harder to manipulate. So it's you've got this huge thing protecting his wrist. I know Kurt and I are both played goalie. State of the art stuff though. The pads that they wear on their
the
legs,
old leather stuff that we had is nothing like this.
But our stuff would get wet and heavy. Their stuff is light and airy. That's the coolest thing about modern day goalie equipment. It's all like really light. These guys are flexible. They're able to move around a lot. So his being mobile in the goal is what makes him so difficult to score on.
Now, he has been on the ice a lot, that 7-1 record, the one coming from that last game where he spent the least amount of time because they pulled the goalie in the end to give them the extra advantage there at the end of that game. But before that, he's playing 2 overtime games in game 2, game 3. Game 2, he's on the ice for 87 minutes. And
506 total on the postseason, almost 3,000 for the entire season.
I mean, he's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. You do have Jonathan Quick.
I'd love to know how much weight he loses sweat-wise per game.
That's
because the one thing about hockey players, man, you sweat profusely.
Yeah,
and it's nasty. And if you've never been around hockey players, like after a game, it's pretty bad. They have their own changing room where the stuff dries, and in between periods, they change all their undergarments and stuff because they stink. But that's what makes them hockey players. Right, Kurt? There's a certain stench to a hockey player.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Especially their equipment.
There's no way to get rid of it. It's just because you're always playing.
No.
If you're, especially at this level, you just keep going and, you're replacing and you're airing it out and you're doing what you can do, but it's still there.
I think Igor is right now, to me, the MVP of these playoffs. And if the Rangers win the Stanley Cup, obviously their President's Cup win, and with what Igor was able to do, like, he deserves some high praise. And looking at his, I did not know he was a 4th-round pick 118 overall for the New York Rangers. Like, this is a guy that stuck with the franchise, a franchise that took a chance on this guy. Talk about paying off. I mean, again, if they win a Stanley Cup, yes, Zibanejad, awesome. Kreider, leader. Like, so many, Panarin, the bread man. Like, there's some stars out there on the ice at all times. But
Trocheck, pain in the butt.
I hate this guy. That Trocheck. Every time I see like a dude getting a steal at the point and starting a transition at break or something, it's like, it's that guy again. That Trocheck guy.
Every aspect of the game.
Yeah, he's at all corners of the ice. But saying all that, Igor Shesterkin has got them where they're at.
You, as a Caniac, are you a little nervous?
Yeah.
Because you can't score on the power play at all?
I mean, it's this guy. It's this guy.
It's this guy.
It's Igor Shesterkin. If this guy didn't exist, then this is all Hurricanes, all series. But this guy, dude, again, the craziest shot that I saw Aho wait for the defender to get in front of him so he could shoot it in between his legs, just so Igor might not see it. He was all over it. Knew exactly what he was trying to do before he even set it up. Like, his instincts are great. Obviously, his agility to go left and right is superb. But his vision is second to none out there on the ice.
But the great defenders get out of the goalie's way. If you've watched the playoffs, I think the most masterful job is some of these teams where they know a guy's about to set up and take a slap shot. They try to get out of the way. And then the Rangers do a lot of blocking, man. You got to have some serious, to stand there and take 110 mile an hour bullet right to the leg, right to the upper body, right to the wrist. And it blows my mind. Hockey was always my favorite sport because it kind of weeded out the soft-minded guys. It wasn't about talent. It's about, are you willing to get down the ice, block a shot? Are you willing to, take a check just to dig the puck out? That was my favorite drill with the youngsters when I coached, was just throw the puck into the corner, go get it, go dig it out.
Who wants it?
Who wants it the most? And you watch some of these teams, man. They have great forecheckers, great guys. I call them diggers. They're digging it out. That's why I kind of like lacrosse.
Yeah,
But
have you noticed the layout of what they're doing in the attack, the forechecking attack in the NHL across the board right now? It's funny how you get another level into the playoffs, and it's getting simpler. It's not getting more complex.
I agree with that.
They're just they're doing a lot of get traffic, get stuff on net.
Well, trap in the neutral zone, but like you said, that's the one thing the Hurricanes do a lot of, is getting shots on goal. That's what killed the Bruins last night. You get 2 shots in 20 minutes.
First time I've ever heard an NHL stadium chant, shoot the puck.
Shoot the puck. Shoot the puck.
Crazy. I have a new favorite playoff goalie, and it's not Igor Shesterkin. It's not Mr. Anderson from the Hurricanes. It's not Swayman. It's not Bobrovsky. Dylan Garand, a.k.a. the Garand Salam. Hartford Wolfpack's goalie came to play on Friday night. They were peppering him dibs. I don't know the shots on goal off the top of my head. It just felt all Providence all Friday night, except when it mattered the most. Overtime. That's when we come to play. Not once, but twice in Hartford, the Wolfpack win in OT to move on to the next round against those stinking, smelly, degenerate Hershey Bears. I eat Hershey Bears for breakfast. And now we're going to have to eat them all week long. Well, actually 2 weeks. Game 1, May 16th. That will be Thursday night in Hershey. This is the finals of the Atlantic Division. This is a repeat of 22-23. Thursday, Game 1. Saturday, Game 2. Both of those are going to be in Hershey. Then Wednesday, the 22nd. Friday, the 24th. Which Fridays? $2 beers at the XL Center.
Nice. Garand, 26 saves.
Ooh, a Garand Slam. I love that, dude. Playing really well right now for the Hartford Wolfpack as they continue their Calder Cup playoff run.
Let me give you some of the other ones. Cleveland Monsters versus the Syracuse Crunch. The Milwaukee Admirals versus the Grand Rapids Griffins.
Okay, I do know the Griffins.
And then the Coachella Valley Firebirds versus the Ontario Reign.
I did not know Coachella had their own team. So we're in the quarterfinals right now of the AHL. We've got to win this series. We got to win the semi-series. And then we win the Calder Cup series. So still a long way to go.
We're in the Atlantic. Then there's the North,
Yeah.
Central, and Pacific.
Right. So we got to win the Atlantic.
So
First time
Pacific is Coachella.
one step at a time, boys.
Oh, man.
Great scene, too, at the end, like when they scored that overtime goal. The entire place was there. Nobody left early, and everybody kind of stuck around to celebrate.
Went bananas.
Teams gathers at the center and waves to the crowd. There was a lot of good interaction back there.
Packy time is what I call it.
Ah!
Not only it's Wolf Pack time, we're all going to the Packy. So.
Go to package store. Anyway, let's do the Daily Pickle. Let's talk about people that aren't happy right now and very frustrated and getting thrown out of games, which is what we love here on the Rob Dibble Show. Rob Dibble, Ben Darnell, Kurt Kaplan on the ones and twos. You got John Ashmead is on the video. You can see it on our YouTube channel. We'll be right back with the Daily Pickle on Fox Sports Radio.